And now we get to probably one of the most discussed aspects of this movie, which is dialogue.
Dialogue. Oh, by the way, this movie is very light on dialogue, really. This is one of the reasons why it's also very boring. Everybody talks in like,
So a lot of it is just Prabhas walking in slow motion as Jai Shri Ram
yes,
plays in the background.
my God, unironically, yes. Okay. And yeah, so everybody talks in statements. They don't talk in dialogue, they talk in statements. Okay. And yeah, but now we get a bit more organic, quote unquote dialogue, which is okay. Yeah, he goes to Ashok Vatika, extremely boring, extremely typical sequence, very boring.
Is it
Um,
isn't it Ashok Vatika where I think somebody sees him? I don't know if it is Indrajit but or somebody else and asks him if like क्या ये तेरे बुआ का बगीचा है?
I don't. I This dialogue happens, but I don't know if it happens in Ashok Vatika or when he takes Bajrang to Ravan's court. But yeah, this dialogue does happen. I don't know why Buab in particular.
No,
Uh,
but like it's maybe Manoj Munshi thought it was celebration.
oh my god. There's a
The
reason why you should stay in school,
you
kids.
might have like there
Pay
was this
attention
video
in
you
Hindi class. तुम्हें हिंदी आती है, that does not mean you know how to use Hindi. Okay. Uh,
there was this video I think you shared with me, and it's probably there somewhere, where apparently Manoj Mutashiv, when asked about the dialogue, especially the dialogue, it said that apparently this was how his grandmother used to talk about, used to tell the Ramayana.
मैं एक छोटे से गांव से आया हूं। हमारे यहाँ दादियाँ नानियाँ जब रामायण की कथा सुनाती थीं तो ऐसे ही इसी भाषा में सुनाती थीं।
People have, like, yes, of course, people have ways of talking, and if they're retelling stories, I understand what he's saying. Okay. I kind of
Yeah,
relate to
because
that.
you talked about it just now, right? Because
Yeah.
like you said, how like the Ram Leelas people
Yeah,
just
those
talk
dialogues
about
were not.
current events.
Yeah, yeah. So those dialogues were not like as sanitized as Raman and Sagar's
Right.
Ramayana. They are
Right.
very, sometimes very vulgar, because they have to present like Ravan especially as a very vulgar man. And okay, another open. It's not a secret, but it's like a thing that nobody talks about, but everybody knows. They would always have a very lewd dance sequence, uh, actual Ram Leelas, by and the justification is that it's Ravan's court, and Ravan's court is supposed to be very indulgent. There's very
Decadent.
there, huh?
Decadent.
Decadent. Yes, yes, very, very degenerate. Okay, so to show the degeneracy,
So
they
just
have the local
like
equivalent of an item song.
we have to show a lot of women doing sexy dances because we have to show how Ravan
Yeah,
is
we
like
have to show how much
decadent and
Ravan did not
degenerate.
disrespect women by disrespecting women.
We will get to sexuality in this movie.
But yes, that they did not do here. This Ravan's court is abysmal. There's just like there isn't a court. It's a courtyard in which he's doing various activities at various times. It's a very funny thing because like it's like every time he's introduced in his house, he has to be doing some random idle activity. Sometimes he's just hammering on a sword as if it was a forge, but there is no fire or water nearby. Um, so he's just like, I don't know,
Anyway,
very, yeah.
this thing we are at we discussed Manoj Mintash's grandmother dialogues.
But no, no, no. Yeah. So coming to the scene,
We have to get to the line.
the scene, uh, which is yeah. So
So Bajrang is got brought before Ravan, brought before Ravan, sure.
yes, it is Ravan.
And Ravan says that like and
कुछ काम
Indrajit
धंधा नहीं है
decides.
क्या बंदर पकड़ रहे हो? Unironically,
Verbatim.
direct quote by the way.
Verbatim. So like then he's like whatever,
Yeah, they have
and
an extremely
then
boring
it's
decision. Is that extremely boring
now we
discussion?
get to the time where Indrajit is the one who sets fire to Bajrang's tail.
Yes. Yeah, and
Now,
they do this thing. Okay, by the way, just to explain why Bajrang is allowing all of this to happen, is because he has been paralyzed by some curse that Indrajit like has put on him, and yeah, so they wrap his tail. The tail does not elongate, which is another iconic scene in Ramayana. But Hanuman, I will just call him Hanuman. Okay, it's Hanuman. Hanuman's tail elongates, and it keeps elongating,
I think
and
we should not call him Hanuman just because I think we will have a case put on us if we associate this
oh my
movie
god, okay,
anymore
Bajrang.
with the Ramayana than any and when absolutely necessary.
Dude, I don't know if when we put this video out, right? I feel like we might be catering to right wing audience right now with how much we care about Ramayana. I care
Like
about
this is the
Ramayana, dude.
only
It's a good story.
like
Come
here's
on.
the thing because the thing is when I said like I was talking to like my mom and I said that I'm going to talk about Adipurush and my mom is like you should be very careful when you talk about religion. We don't know what people will get angry and I feel like yes that is true but I think Adipurush has done the impossible duty of bringing like right wingers and
Yes,
left wingers and centrists
together.
together and everybody unites to say this movie is absolute crap.
Yes.
This
And
is called
yes,
Om Rao's contribution to national integration.
yes. This is what our country needed, really. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Anyway, we are at the line. We are
the
almost at the
line.
line.
Yes. But I just want to make a point. Like Bajrang's tail does not elongate. They don't have the fun sequence where all of the cloth in Lanka is wrapped on his tail, because that's a very big thing. Uh, and but that does not happen. They wrap a bit of bandage on it, and now they are on a cliff edge. This happened. This would have been more funny if it happens in the court, because it starts at the court. He starts setting fire to the court of Ravan. He sets that on fire first and then Lanka. But no, they go to some some like
Random
tower
cliff edge, yeah.
overlooking the sea, and Indrajit sets fire to Bajrang's tail, and then says, what does he say? Jalina.
अब तो
Uh,
और जलेगी.
अब तो और जलेगी. जिसकी जलती है उसी को क्या व्हाट इज द ट्रेलर, उसी को
Where
पता
is it?
चलता है, समथिंग लाइक दैट.
Where is it?
जिसकी
Yeah.
जलती है वही जानता है.
जिसकी जलती है वही जानता है.
Yes. And then
The line.
very very disrespectfully. So here are two versions, right? Now reality bifurcates. There is a reality in which the dialogue was uh, this is out of context. It's like just like, okay, तेल तेरे बाप का, uh, कपड़ा तेरे बाप का,
कपड़ा तेरे बाप का तेल तेरे
तेल
बाप
तेरे
का
बाप
आग
का,
तेरे
आग
बाप
तेरे बाप
की.
की, और जलेगी भी तेरे बाप की. This was the dialogue. We want to enshrine it in this video at least, no matter how much Om Rao tries to remove it from existence.
Tomra
Uh,
series. Remember
yes,
this is
anti-series, of course. And the new version, the updated reality, is him replacing Tere Baap with Teri Lanka. So, कपड़ा तेरी लंका का, तेल तेरी लंका का, आग तेरी लंका की, और जलेगी भी तेरी लंका, which is instantly an extremely boring dialogue.
Well, here's the thing. When I first heard the line, my assumption is that they took the and from what I hear, the reality is much less boring. My assumption was what they tried to do was take the Ramayana and try to make it a mass masala movie with punch dialogues.
Yeah.
Because this जली ना अब तो और जलेगी
Yes.
आग तेरे बाप का.
Yes.
This sounds like punch dialogues.
Yes. These are
Like
these are yeah.
if you didn't put it in the mouth of Indrajit and Hanuman,
Yes.
this would be completely normal in like a more like masala movie, Vijay, Rajnikant, Ajit, Salman, that kind of movie like frame. Because
Yeah.
and it just feels like I'm fine with making and like it just feels kind of weird framing it like this because like obviously your general argument is that it is disrespectful Hanuman would never talk like this etc etc but I mean I just my imagination based on that one line gave me a better movie than this movie actually is.
I
Because
yes,
it is a Ramayana with
they
punch
should have grown.
dialogues.
They should have grown a spine and kept it in. Okay.
They should, or they, and not even just kept it in, they should have made the whole movie like full on punch dialogues.
Yeah, just
Like
the
when
full
Ram talks
dialogue.
to
Full.
Ravan, and it's like that scene from Dawn number one where Kelly Dorsey is talking to Nagarjuna.
तेरी जबान बहुत चलती है सूर्या, हाथ ज्यादा चलता है. मेरी पावर को मत भूल तू, मुझे याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं.
ठीक है. Yeah, another dialogue they have nerfed later on. It's a very minor change. It's a blink and a miss
But
at the beginning.
by the way, the Jalina line, as far as I know, according to this one, has not been changed. The
हाँ,
जिसकी
yes,
जलती है वही जानता है, that has not been changed. Frankly, I
yes,
find that more cringy.
yes. That has been kept in, but Bajrang's dialogue has been changed enough too, which is very easy
Anyway,
to do.
and then after Bajrang says the line, then Indrajit's expression changes and he basically flash runs to him, and and I checked this about 2 or 3 times. He does not actually push him off.
He
Like,
kicks
because
him,
I
right?
thought he pushed him off. He just stands there, and then Bajrang goes back, and he feels like he's falling because he doesn't like jump off and fly or whatever. He falls and he's like like he looks like that,
Yeah.
and, which just seems like such a weird choice. Like if you want to push him off, push him off. Why are you
Yeah.
having Indrajit do this weird thing where he just runs near him, and apparently Bajrang gets so startled that he falls back and forgets he can fly for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, why is he putting on the show of pretending as if he's falling? Like, okay, whatever, like he's a mischievous like a character, fine.
Right. Anyway,
But
so then Bajrang remembers he can fly while
yeah,
falling.
and
Then he flies,
then he
and then he
falls
like
into
runs, and then he flies through at high speed through the city of Lanka in PS3
which
graphics.
has Pirates of the Caribbean ships. Uh,
Mhm.
and then I don't even
Also, we
remember.
must reiterate when Bajrang flies really fast. It's just like again PS3 graphics with
Yes.
uh, like uh, you can actually see like the models and like they just kind of and they're not even aliased properly. Like
Yes. I am pretty sure.
surely within that 600 crore rupee budget, you could buy maybe two 4090s. At least alias them properly.
Yeah, guys, graphics cards का सूखा खत्म हो गया. Now they're available at normal prices.
Maybe this is the reason why we were worried that this movie was stuck in like development for a long time. Maybe
Yeah.
this scene was done during the moment where the graphics cards were
Yeah,
would
and it's
have.
not again for movie it's production hell. For games it's development hell. But for this movie it is development hell only, because this movie is like like a game. They've made it like a game, and without even properly motion capture. But it's like yeah. So yeah, Lanka Dahan happens. After that is the blur. Yeah. Okay. Now comes the Vibhishan's defectation part. The
Yeah.
when he
So
defects to
Vidishan
Ram's side.
talks to Lankesh. He says that you should probably not insist on the whole Sita thing. During this time, by the way, Indrajit and Kumbhakaran are basically playing like whack-a-mole, where Indrajit is the mole and he's just like zipping around, and Kumbhakaran is trying to hammer him or something.
Kumbhakaran.
Is it? It looked like
Kumbhakaran
Kumbhakaran.
is
Like,
sleeping, but he does not.
oh, sorry,
He
there's this really big guy who I thought he was Kumbhakaran. There's this big guy, like Indrajit is like zipping around, and there's a guy who's like trying to hammer him.
is this a
Is it?
Mandela effect thing? This scene does
I'm,
not happen.
I like during the scene where Vibhishan tells Ravan that he should,
Okay, so you know what? This might be a part that I slept through. I'll be honest.
no, because I found it because like it is the one part where Saif Ali Khan sounds like when Saif Ali Khan is talking to when Ravan is talking to Vibhishan, it is the one moment where Saif Ali Khan really sounds like Saif Ali Khan. You know, your typical, hey, baby. Saif Ali Khan.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, Saif Ali Khan's best role was that interview that he did. What was that Janta Ki Adalat TV show? You know, have you seen that clip where
Which
he's
one?
very obviously high? Like
What?
he's wearing sunglasses indoors, and he's like,
आपको पोएट्री से कितना लगाव है और कोई आपका फेवरेट पोएट है?
हाँ, फैज़ एंड गालिब। नो आई एम टॉकिंग रबिश। ये मेरी दादी पढ़ती थी और मेरा अब्बा पढ़ते हैं। ये कोई उम्र है इन चीज़ों को पढ़ने का?
yeah, have you not seen that clip? It's like
Yeah,
him
because
giving.
the weird thing is, I have a lot of like respect for Saif Ali Khan. He's done a
Like,
lot
this
of
is
good
like
work.
even he was very young. So this is
Oh,
I think this is
this
Dil
was in
Chahta
the
Hai Era.
90s, right?
Yeah, this is Dil Chahta Hai Era.
Okay,
Uh,
then I have not seen that.
Dude, it is so funny because he's so obviously high the entire time. He's just like कि यार हाँ like and it's just like I don't know if he had been asked about it. Like हाँ मैं जगता हूँ कभी मैं 9 बजे 10 बजे 11 बजे 12 बजे 1 बजे 2 बजे जगता हूँ मैं क्योंकि मुझे कुछ सुबह कुछ करने के लिए होता नहीं है मैं 8 घंटे सोता हूँ. Here it's beautiful. It's his best role.
Anyway,
But
so now we are because I don't know if we like because I remember this scene because like it is kind because in the background I don't know if it's Kumbhakaran or whom, but it is a very big dude and he is like basically hammering half of the area and Ravan and Vibhishan are talking about how like Vibhishan says that Ravan should probably like let him go, like let Sita go, and Ravan gets mad basically,
yep.
and
Janki
and then.
no wait. So this is the reason why I was really tired with this part. It is hard to remember
So is
what
this?
happens.
Do we get to the part where like Vibhishan defects, like officially goes to?
Yeah, that's also a very boring sequence. It is like he just shows up.
We do it. While it is probably very boring, we do have to talk about it because it is one more like pretty famous bugbear.
I think you should take the lead on this because I think I got a very important call.
How many-
much important than that.
As
Sorry,
Hmm?
I was just saying that I think during this scene I got a very important call, a call which was much more important than the movie. So I took it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so you should talk about
I
this.
blame you not at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happens is Vibhishan then defects. Like Vibhishan defects. He says that what Ravan is doing is wrong, etc., etc. One strangely notable character, which if you have read the myth, you probably have seen being prominent in almost no adaptation, is Vibhishan's wife.
Yeah. I think that was a special appearance. Bro.
No, it wasn't. There is a special appearance is Mandodari. That's Sonal Chauhan who has that one line when Janki comes to Lanka.
Yeah.
Like Sonal Chauhan is standing there and looking very nice to be fair, and then Surpanakha is like gloating about and Surpanakha goes to her and Surpanakha is like gloating, right? Because now like she's got Janki and Mandodari.
Which is like he died.
And Mandodari just says that like this is the beginning of the end. ये अंत की शुरुआत है. अभी like things like that. Basically, she just
talks
says that
about the whole thing with the confidence of a
somebody
sort
was
of-
red. No.
No, she talks about it with the confidence of the marine experts when they were talking about that submarine that was lost and has been now confirmed to be imploded. People from 3 days ago, anybody who was talking to like, okay, where do you put these guys' chances? I was like 0, they're dead. And that was the confidence with Mandodari. It's like, yeah, Ravan is dead.
Maybe Om Raut really likes Mandodari and
No,
Sonal
I
Chauhan
think,
because
again, this is something that
because he gave Sonal Chauhan the role which is unquestionably the smartest.
No, the thing is that again, for somebody who has not watched any other adaptation, this would not make sense But in most of the other adaptations, and especially during the Ramanand Sagar adaptation, because they had half a brain cell at least, they gave an explanation for why, just beyond pure jealousy, Mandodari is afraid of Sita being kidnapped, is because she has had a prophecy. Like she has had like some
Yeah,
way.
and
Yeah.
she is not just doing this. This ये अंत की शुरुआत है.
Yeah, not that, that's not like that's not just out of pure jealousy of a like what do you say, a co-wife? No, what, there's a term for it. It's like a second wife of his husband, of her husband. Like it's not just that. It's just like that she has had a prophecy. Like she has either had a vision or some Baba has given her a prophecy that when this thing happens, yeah, it marks the fall of Ravan.
Lanka, yeah.
Yeah.
Ravan, Lanka, whatever.
Lanka
Not
as a whole as well, yeah. But yeah,
anyway.
okay. But now
So
the
now
point.
this is not the special appearance. This is
Yeah.
like a separate actor, not a very well known actor. It's like this is someone who works mostly in Marathi movies.
Mhm.
Then after we've had the scene with Vibhishan's like official like he defects to Ram, we go to this scene inside Vibhishan's tent, and Vibhishan, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing, and basically he's talking to his wife. His wife, notably, is changing
Yeah.
like her clothes, and then she's talking about like she's not because during the whole defection thing, Vibhishan talks about like how Raghav says that once this war is over, Vibhishan will rule over Lanka or whatever. So like the wife is basically skeptical that whether Raghav will keep his word, and the strange thing is like she's changing. She's very like there is like the screen and it goes up to like here, and it is you are very much meant to imply that she is like naked behind there,
Hmm.
and that is actually something, and like I don't mind that, but that is actually something that a lot of people really brought up because and like part of it is also related to the fashion choices, shall we call them, when it comes to
Women's clothing in this
when it comes to women's clothing in throughout this movie. Uh, Janki gets like
Janki is Janki. They don't mess too much with
Janki's is
it.
relatively Janki's is
Yeah.
relatively okay,
Yeah.
but like Mandodari, your Sona Chauhan, Surpanaka maybe not as much, but definitely
Supnaka as well.
Surpanakha, Mandodari, and definitely Vibhishan's wife. I don't even know if she has a name
Yeah, I
like
don't even know
this
if
thing.
they call her by name.
But and they have, shall we say, very like
Eroticized?
uh, sexualized doesn't even seem like the term for it, but like
Tantalizing?
they are very like
Unnecessarily?
off shoulder blouses for saris. Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about costume choices in general. Yes, those
yeah,
are
costume choice in general. Yeah.
definitely active choices to make them wear clothes that don't like they don't have essentially what is a blouse in most saris.
No, they
There
have a
is
blouse. It's just like these are they typically have like strapless blouses, just like SM.
yeah. I mean like yeah, but this is like yeah. The way that they presented it, it's supposed to be like okay, it's just the sari. It's just the sari. There's no I don't know because there
It's a
is
sari, but it's a very modern sari. Like
yeah.
you would,
It's weird. It's like let's not even get into too much like detail about this, but because this gets very weird. But it is a very
it's actually
strange
one of the
choice.
things that like a lot of like right wingers and like people have brought up because the idea is that Umraut and Manoj Muntashir, Umraut, I mean, has basically kind of sexualized these women.
I mean,
Now,
I would say the a worse thing in a way, really, like in a substantial way, right? Not just an aesthetic way, is how much this movie really sidelines women. Like nobody is like really talking about that.
Like, like, like Sita, even in the original epic, I don't. Sita is not this much of a damsel as she is in this movie.
Yeah, I think Sita's mostly like, I think the thing is like this text, the original text is by no means like that. The original Ramayana is not just a story, it is meant to be a moral lesson, and consequently it has a moral lesson for how women should behave. And under that thing, it is a very constrained, very like their power
Patriarchal.
comes from their what they call their like their sort of purity, and that purity is not speaking too much, not being too loud, not being too active, but rather just being like firm and determined
It
and
is the sort of like
loyal.
patriarchal sort of passivity that is expected
Yeah, yeah.
of women.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
women's ideal state is passive, and
Mm.
that bleeds in through in all adaptations. You can't do much with that because the text of the story is explicitly that she is kidnapped for the most of the this kand, right?
Right, right.
So can't do much there, but like kind of compensate with that with another thing. They give Mandodari a more active role. Mandodari becomes like an active sort of, she does not gives up immediately. Okay, she has like real arguments, real logical, sensible arguments with Ravan. Like this is something because during the pandemic they did a whole rerun of Raman and Sagar Raman, right? And so
Mhm.
I watched that again as well, and I was struck by how like purposeful the dialogues were, and even none of the dialogues were trivial. Even Mandodari, completely exasperated, frustrated, hopelessly talking to Ravan, still puts forth sensible points. Okay, still, because it is meant to show that she till the end tries to preserve her husband's
Persuade.
life.
Right.
That's her thing, that she's trying to preserve her husband's life because she knows by prophecy he will
That this
die
is
in
going
one
to
of the
happen.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that is like a thing that they could have. So but again, the agency, like a modern thing, a modern thing that they could have done. It was giving women agency in the
Like,
story.
because here's the thing, you already are modernizing so much. You're
Yes.
putting like let us not even get into aesthetics where Ravan occasionally wears a t-shirt, where like in general it looks like a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Um,
it's supposed to be like a
uh,
vest underneath it. Yeah.
um, where you are like where you're giving all these women like sleeveless blouses, like this is like a Sandeep Khosla Fashion Week like show,
You're
and
giving
I'm
you're
fine with
giving
that.
you're giving Ravan those cuts that all modern
Oh
hairstyles
yeah,
give.
you're making Ravan a gym bro. You're
Yes.
giving Ravan a haircut that makes him look like he basically saw Tom Cruise in the original Top Gun and fell in love. Uh,
Wait,
and
what? Tom Cruise did not have a beard in the original Top Gun. What are you
no, no,
talking
no,
about?
no, the head, only the head.
Oh, only the hair. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah. That kind of, yeah. But of course, but also the modern cuts. Those two
Mm.
modern, like all from
Yeah,
Javed Habib.
and then like you do that. I am fine with that. But then then it just feels weird when you're still doing this full like all your most of your women are either scheming like evil women or do nothings.
Yeah, it's not, yeah. So yeah, even the scheming part, even that allows some agency. Even they have completely reduced that also. It's like Sloopnaka just has two speaking scenes. Okay, literally two speaking scenes. Once when she's initially introduced, and once when she's
When she's
gloating
talking
to
to the
Mandodari. Yes, that's it. Over. Okay, and huh?
yeah,
No, but yeah. So wait, which scene were we at?
the like this thing,
Yeah,
Vibhishan's wife.
Vibhishan's camp.
Vibhishan's wife is like, and then she basically kind of walks out, and basically the reason why like a lot of people talk about the whole sexualization thing is because when she walks out, she walks out basically her pallu is like she's like putting on her pallu, and so for like I know, like a second you get to see like cleavage,
Yeah,
which is
half a
a
spear frame.
little, yeah, which is like, I know a lot of people got mad about that. I find it a little weird.
Yeah, why
Why are
put
you
it there?
suddenly doing the cleavage thing?
Yeah, why put it? Why does she need to be changing? Why? Huh?
And actually, that is the scene where Vibhishan tells her about does the whole flashback thing, where like Vibhishan tells her that uh, Ram was originally the crown prince of Asgard. Sorry, Ayodhya. But then Kaikai asked for his like favor and then said that Ram should go into exile and Bharat should become king, etc. So basically, that whole kand gets done in a minute, maybe less.
Yeah.
And there is this, and actually that part is like really funny because there's a part where Ram is walking around in like these white clothes and he has like this beard and his long hair and people are making fun that he looks like Jesus.
Yeah, the Jesus scene. That is the that is the thing is that it is so notable because earlier in the movie it was a freeze frame painting. Okay.
Mm.
And then in that flashback that actually that it was in motion. But in
Mm.
that, and that is another reason why I think that they actually shot some of the actual beginning of the Ramayana. But in that, like in the very beginning of the movie, it's a still of him just standing there in full
It's,
white, enough like and long flowing hair. Okay, of course, which the immediate comparison, like, dude, this is Jesus, and and of course,
I
like,
think actually a lot of people make that joke. This is like the most secular Ramayana. They literally made Ram Jesus.
yeah, they're making a Brahmin eat meat, like not eat meat, touch meat.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Ravan actually. By the way, that bat. By the way, there is like the scene in the middle where Ravan is feeding the bat giant pieces of meat. Like,
this cartoonish like looking turkey legs. Okay, and
and it's just been like dragged out. It feels like just
yeah,
like it's not even scared like 3D models are scared. It just looks like it has been stretched.
yes. Oh yeah. But yeah, actually, you know the thing that I said when we were talking about it earlier, where I said that this is implied to be Jatayu. I don't think it is. When I watched it actually,
What is?
but because no,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
implication that it is Jatayu's
the
carcass. But because what happens is that earlier in the movie, like Ravan slices off a wing from Jatayu, but we
right.
never see where that wing goes. Like we don't even not see that wing falling. We also don't see that wing being carried anywhere. Where did that wing disappear? Okay, so we were like, oh,
Maybe
maybe.
maybe Ravan just teleported like he teleported his soul into his hand.
Yeah, that, yes. But yeah, yeah, again, bad CGI cut, like dragged out scenes, extremely boring scene, extremely
I think
weird.
a lot. I think a recurring pattern in this discussion is how, like, you might look at a lot of the meme scenes, so to speak, and assume that this is like a funny bad movie, but a lot of it is just not a funny bad movie. It is just a boring bad movie, which is worse. Apparently, oh yeah, we've not even gotten to the best dialogue where apparently this is something I have not seen, but I assume it is there. Apparently, somebody said like somebody ko lamba kar diya.
No. The again the split in reality is that the originally when Hanuman returns from Lanka, then he is asked कि क्या हुआ, तुमने लाइक ओके नो यहाँ मैंने सीता जी को बोला पर मुझे पकड़ लिया रावण के पास ले गए, बोले तुमने
Oh
रावण
yeah,
को क्या
हमारी
बोला,
बेटियों को or something.
उस बोला तुमने रावण को क्या बोला, बोलता है सो सॉरी, बजरंग सेज दैट बोल दिया मैंने कि जो हमारी बहनों को हाथ लगाएगा, नॉट बेटियों को, बहनों
बहन
को,
को sorry. हम्म।
जो हमारी बहनों को हाथ लगाएगा हम उसकी लंका लगा देंगे, वॉज द ओरिजिनल डायलॉग, एंड नाउ दे हैव नर्व्ड इट टू हम उसकी लंका जला देंगे, इंस्टेंट डाउनग्रेड.
लंका
Lanka Laga Denge
People,
was a
people
good
make
choice.
like a lot of like writers made fun, like got really angry at it because again, how can Hanuman talk like this? Blah blah blah. Again, this is a joke that I heard from Suchata, so I will credit her again with this. She said that in the like Lanka Laga Denge is a an idiom that comes from the Ramayana, right?
Yes. Yes,
So
yes.
the implication is that in the time span between Bajrang setting fire to Lanka and Bajrang coming back, Lanka Lagana has become a figure of speech
Yes.
in those in that like what 1 hour maybe.
Whatever stretch of time. But yeah, so again, yeah, it's like okay, it's a, as you said, it's an expression that comes out of like popular retellings of Ramayana, not like okay, it's not a thing yet. You have just done it once, just now. You
Lanka
can't.
Lagana is not like you are the first person who has touched Lanka.
Yes,
Lanka
yes,
Lagana is not so iconic that you can just say it and people will understand.
exactly. It's very weird, and but yeah, so they again like I think people would
And
get
there is
an
also a
idea.
dialogue which I have not found, but I am like 90% sure is there, or at least was there. Maybe the split in reality has gotten that one too, where somebody says like maybe I think it is during the like where somebody says कि somebody को लंबा कर दिया.
I don't remember. I did not see that dialogue. Pretty sure I would have noticed.
But the thing is, because here's the thing: when somebody says lamba kar diya, my brain immediately thinks of Gunda.
Yes, it's a
Like,
Gunda reference. उसने तिल्ली को गाड़ के खंबा कर दिया. Like that's a full limerick that the people in that movie say कि इसने तो छोटी को लंबा कर दिया. Something like that. It's a very bad dialogue.
मुन्नी
It's a
मेरी
very
बहन मुन्नी, लंबुआटा ने तुझको लंबा कर दिया,
हाँ
माचिस
yes.
की थैली को खंबा
खंबा
कर
कर
दिया.
दिया. Yes, it's oh my god, it's very vulgar dialogue, but
Yeah, but lamba.
but it is iconic. Yes, but yeah, they might as well have. I don't know, but yeah. So okay, let's get to let's just cut
So now
everything. Let's
we
get
are at
to
war. We are
let's
also
get to
Vibhish,
the
we
battle.
have to. Yeah, there's also we have to then get to Sanjeevi Bhuti at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, let's come to Sanjeev Bhoti directly. Okay,
Mm.
again, so Vibhishan's wife. I don't know if this is lower accurate, but Sanjeev like that's the person who
That is, it is in fact not lore accurate.
yeah
Lakshman gets injured, he's like dying, and Vibhishan's wife, who apparently Oberth thought was Melisandre from Game of Thrones, she's thankfully not, she's not styled like that. She's not like wearing like red dresses, but she is very much in the Melisandre like mode. Says that the only thing that can save this one, Lakshman, is the
Lakshman.
Sanjeevani Bhuti.
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very boring scene. It's nonsense.
You would think a scene where Bajrang goes searches and goes to the mountain and then brings a mountain back would be more interesting
Yeah,
than this.
would be iconic. Iconic is the word. It's not. It's so dull because it's like okay, it's a booty. Then go and fetch it, and it has all these things. Okay, it has contradictory, not contradictory, but it has like sort of yeah contradict like paradoxical properties. That okay, it does not change color with weathers. It does not. It is neither a leaf nor a flower. It is which immediately I thought okay then it's a root. So
So presumably Hanuman gets like confused and so he just brings the whole.
I think they tried to do a writing thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I
like from what like as far as like because in the original, Hanuman does not remember like what it looks
yes.
like. So that
Yes.
is why he brings the whole mountain.
I think no in this movie I think they did a writing thing which was set up
Mhm.
and payoff, which was
Mhm.
that earlier when the first time Bajrang is introduced, he's like pretending to be a sadhu in the jungle, and
Mhm.
Shesh approaches him, and
Mhm.
he's like okay like I'm a very wise rishi, you can ask me anything, and so Shesh asks him like word puzzles like
Right.
whatever. So one of those puzzles is like ओके यू नो एक तोता और उसके दो बच्चे एक नदी पार करते हैं, और जैसे ही दूसरा बच्चा ज़मीन पे आता है कहता है अरे वाह अच्छा हुआ हम चारों लोगों ने नदी पार कर ली, एंड सो ही इज़ लाइक ओके तो तीन ही लोग हैं तो चौथा कौन है, एंड हनुमान इज़ लाइक वो बच्चा है कुछ भी बोल सकता है. So the way that they've presented it is like he's not high intelligence to make another D&D reference. Int
No,
score
because
is like
I don't know. It's just weird because the rest of them, like the rest of the word puzzles, are very normal, like logic question kind of
yeah
puzzles.
one was
Because
just one was like a literal like work distribution puzzle which is like okay इतने लोगों ने इतने दिन में काम किया, दूसरों ने
no,
उतना
no,
किया.
no. 4 मजदूरों ने 10 महीनों में महल बनवाया. तो दो मज और समथिंग और 10 मजदूरों
Half
ने
of them how
चार.
much time it will take for half of them,
हाँ,
and then
and then Hanuman
Bajrang is
does like
like
the
okay वो
out
तो
of the
महल तो
box
बन
solution.
गया.
महल तो बन गया, and like
Yep.
it's a very normal. This is very normal. Like that is one scene I found okay.
No, I think that was scene was to establish that he at least presents himself as not an intelligent being.
Okay.
And then he's like, okay, now the payoff is that he forgot or he could not figure out the Sanjeevani booty. No, it's not that. Because the immediate next dialogue, his internal monologue, is that, okay, I found this garden of like Sanjeevani booty. However, abhi to sirf Lakshman has been injured. There can be many more people who might get injured. So let me bring the whole, which instantly makes everything very boring, very dull. It's like it's a like a statistical. It's like a
Like
मैं
there's
चलो
no
10
wonder
चीज़ें ले
to it,
लेता
I
हूँ एक
guess.
साथ, बाद में ज़रूरत
Like
पड़ेगी मुझे.
yeah, like it
It's
is
mundane.
probably the
It's like how
logical
normal
thing to
people
do.
think.
It's not epic in the sense that a myth should be epic. A
Yes.
man couldn't find
Yes.
a
Yes. You're
godly
right.
being couldn't find a plant, so he brought the mountain so that it could be found. Like
Yes. Now that is
there's
epic. Okay.
yeah,
That
like
is epic.
and
That
that
is
is
like
something
yeah.
like and that is
That
something I think
also
Rajamouli gets.
that also shows devotion. He's like, you know what? I am not going to return empty-handed. I will take the entire thing. You figure out where it is. Okay. So that also shows like commitment to his mission. He's like, okay,
Yeah,
because
like it
Bajrang's
is not
whole
it is not like rational, but it conveys the emotion much better. Like it
exactly.
conveys his devotion, it conveys his like determination, it conveys his like this thing, and that is what at its best Indian mythology can do best.
Yes. It's like
because
emotional
because
beats.
like especially after watching something like RRR and like reading a lot of like this thing, I think logic is overrated in a lot of stories like this because you don't
Yeah.
require like logic and like rational this thing.
Yeah.
What you need is the what you need is the you need to communicate what the feeling is. You need to
Yes.
communicate what the like you need to communicate
Sentiment is like it's like
sentiment
sentimental.
and feeling and like I don't maybe personality is not the word, but like personality actually.
Yeah.
You need to communicate that more than like more than being like logical quote unquote because
Yeah.
that
He's like, okay, you know
stays
what? I
with
am at
the
a
audience
supermarket.
much more.
Yeah, that brings Bajrang to the level. Okay, I am at a supermarket. Might as well buy like 10 kg of rice instead of
Mm.
5. What like that's anyway.
And
But
it's and yeah, because it's dull. It doesn't convey anything except that Bajrang is can be kind of future proof. Kind of future proof.
yeah, anyway, so they bring it back. Then they have like this whole contraption, and instead of just crushing the booty and bringing its essence and just pouring it
She
into
does
the
some
pitfall.
weird witchcraft actually.
Yep, she has this whole cauldrons with bubbling green liquid, and she which
And it feels like Shesh is in like some weird pod with green liquid, and I'm still
yep.
not sure what
That
exactly
scene
happened.
looked very similar to that one scene in X-Men Origins Wolverine, where Wolverine like breaks out of his stasis. Like no, the chamber in which he gets adamantium coating,
Mm.
right? And he
Mm.
breaks out of it, and it's like the water is glowing from underneath. And the
Mm.
similar kind of a beat it was that it's like he just shakes out of his paralysis and
Mm.
but yeah, weird green liquid bath and Sanjeevani booty as
Speaking
well.
of more plagiarism, we are at the war, and Ravan's forces look like basically are Tolkien Orcs, like
Yeah,
Lord of the
I
Rings
think it will be
Orcs.
more honest to call them Peter Jackson Orcs
Peter
because
Jackson,
yeah,
Peter Jackson Orcs, like
I,
basically just lifted from the Lord of the Rings movies.
yep, they all are like giant and ugly, and they have this misshapen face and they have pointy ears for no reason.
You half expect them to just shout "Man Thing."
Oh my god! But yes, and so that battle, a lot of bad CGI. I'm pretty sure I saw somebody's sword clip through a piece of wall. I'm pretty sure I saw that. And
There are more inspirations. There is this one part where Indrajit faces off against Vibhishan, and he takes his shirt off, and he's having like this thing, and he looks almost exactly, and he's like massively tattooed guy, and he looks almost exactly like Baldur from the new God of War games.
yep, and in fact, not just he looks, the fight that happens is
Yeah,
also
because
the same fight that happens at the end of God of War Ragnarok, right? That's what it's
no, no,
called.
no, the original the 2018 God of War, yeah,
Wait, Baldur isn't not
God
in
of War
the
2018, not Ragnarok. Ragnarok
wait
is the one that
oh,
happens.
in the Norse mythology. I thought Baldur
No,
is
no, no,
Norse.
both God of War 2018 and Ragnarok are both the Norse games. The
Ha,
first
because
three
Baldur is
were
Norse kind of thing, right?
God is Norse, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, the fight, the final fight from 2018 God of War. It's just that the final like
Yeah,
Indrajit's
because like because Indrajit even has that sort of fast speed movement, and it
ha.
works almost exactly like how Baldur moves in that game.
Yep. And of course the location of this fight is a huge golden piss
Kuban
pond.
tiles wala.
It's a piss pond.
It's a
Okay, it's a piss pond. Okay, it's
it's the it's
because
fun.
it's even if it is gold underneath, it will not glow yellow, dude. Like it will
This
have
is the one part of gold that was left from Kuber tiles wala's Lanka.
yeah, this is the sanitation system in Lanka. Okay, all waste goes here. But yeah,
And this movie couldn't.
I don't know why they made the water yellow, dude. I just it's so weird. And then of course, and coming to the final moments, and this is some parts of it I had watched, clips of. That's why it's okay that I slept through. But
This is supposed to be climactic, by the way. This is like supposed to be
it's
the
supposed to be
exciting part.
climactic, and the Kumkaran fight. Okay, Kumkaran, the giant. He's not a giant. He's a titan. Kumkaran, in the scale in which he's always presented in both all popular adaptations, is that normal human beings are like this size to him. Okay, in this movie, he
He looks like
might,
Hal Drogo.
huh?
He looks like
He
Hal
looks like
Drogo.
aesthetically Khal Drogo. He's maybe taller. Maybe he's like just twice an average person's height. Okay, and he looks like those Game of Thrones giants, like the height wise. Okay, that's like the giants that made appearance during like there was an attack on the wall, and then there was the Battle of the Bastards, in which there was exactly one giant on
Mhm.
Jon Snow's side. It's
Mhm.
just that high. It's so underwhelming. Kumkaran is supposed to be presented as the turning point. It's supposed to be like the nuclear option in Ravana's arsenal, and he's just an incidental detail. He's just another type of warrior. Okay, the movie, and in these scenes, what the sort of what I was reminded of the most was Zack Snyder. Okay, because long ago I watched this video essay about Zack Snyder's 300 and also his Watchmen movie, and about his general style of movie making. Because if you want, you can actually draw very direct comparisons to his presentation style, especially in a movie like 300. In a movie like 300, again, it was very very obviously animated backdrops and very like dark and barren landscapes, and these very buff dudes, of course. So it was like Zack Snyder directs in moments rather than scenes. For him, scenes are just, you know, things that connect moments. And he wants these moments. So moments are these grand, like, you know, still wallpaperable moments, which everything is in slow motion and all of that.
Yeah, like in this Sparta scene where he kicks the guy, and
Yeah.
then there's the like the yeah like moments. I get it.
Yeah, and then it's like this movie pretty much entirely is just, you know, things that they thought would be like so cool, dude. This will look so epic. This is such a cool moment. Okay.
My issue is I don't think that is bad. I
Yes,
don't
it's
think
not bad,
shooting moments is
but they
bad.
don't
It's
understand.
something.
They don't
It's
know what
something.
they're doing. They
It's
don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
to again bring back the discussion to again bring back the discussion to RRR.
Yeah.
RRR also like RRR's RRR's better in the way in the sense that its scenes in the middle are also better, but but a lot of it is building up to big moments. Like there is the scene, like it is building up to the fight. It is building up to the fight between them. It is building up to the
Fire and
rescue.
water
It is
duel.
building to the fire and water duel. It is building up to it has a lot of like individual scenes that are meant to like stick in your brain, like the scene where Bhim is going to be like flogged or something, and then he's being beaten by Ram, and then he sings, and then everybody attacks, and then then there is the part where like Sita gives the this is I love you, Sita.
Yes, I do.
Where Sita tells the story of how Ram is actually like a revolutionary, and he's on his mission to get guns, and then like he actually makes like a vow to her, saying that that he will bring, like that Sita should not have to go to Ram. I will bring Ram to you, like, and
Ha.
then the whole like final part. These are like a lot of it, like obviously the scenes in the middle are also better, but this is also moment filmmaking.
Yes. And you
There
know
is
what
nothing
I
wrong
will.
with moment filmmaking.
Yeah.
The problem is your moments are bad, your moments are mid, and the rest of your movie is almost completely filler.
Yes. And I will say something that might be little controversial, but we were talking about how they are, you know, giving explanation. Oh, this is not Ramayana. This is never Ramayana. This is an adaptation. This RRR. Okay, I don't know why we started talking about it, but that movie did actually make an impression on me, and that is a movie that can be called an adaptation without it being that, without it being the source material, taking the spirit of the source material, transforming it into a different thing, right? A quest, right? You know, the very iconic thing about Ramayana is the quest to rescue Sita, and of course, it's not. It's there. It's like husband wife thing. Here, it's a brother sister thing. Here, it's a brother who's brought his sister has been kidnapped as a child, and he is on a quest in a foreign land with the help of just
Yeah,
a
because
few.
he is like a forest dwelling person, and he comes to Delhi and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
So he's
that's just the first half. That's
yes,
just the first half.
yes. So they have not followed the beats of Ramayana. They have not followed. It's Ramayana without being Ramayana. Okay, it is.
Like that is part of why, and that is why Rajmouli is such a great like this thing director, right? I know we are talking about this thing, but it allows us to not talk about Adipurush.
Dude, this is
Like
like the turning point because all the people who have retroactively started hating RRR, most of them are like very like progressive liberal leaning people, and so we are losing them right now, and we are
radical centrism, likes RRR.
yes, yes,
Anyway, but the thing is, there is a sort of mythical scale, and it kind of brings that.
yeah.
If you attack the Ramayana and you cannot bring a mythical scale to it, you're wasting your time.
This is the thing, right? So again, the thing is there is so little to talk about the final battle except bad CGI moments,
And
and
because the rest of it is just like filler, like if you have seen the Ramayana in any way, you know what happens. Yes,
yeah,
Ravan will come. Yes, Kumbhakaran will die. Yes, and it's just so rote.
yep. Kumkaran fight was the most underwhelming thing. Like there, they had the opportunity of doing something epic that everybody would have recognized, everybody would have liked a modern iteration of it, and you were like, no, Kumkaran is just a giant, and he
And he's
comes
not even
in.
like a particularly big giant. He's just like
Yep.
what 10, 12 feet maybe.
Yeah, very, very, and then easily, Hanuman also like becomes his same size and then starts fighting him hand to hand, and then it is not even Bajrang that kills him, it's a random arrow from Raghav, like. And but the thing was that, okay, now whatever we know happens, right? Ravan dies, and Ravan
And the movie
has
just
this.
kind of ends there because like
Yeah,
they just like walk away, and then you have
yeah, they
you
have
have
another.
like a frame where Raghav's Sesh and Janki are walking, and Bajrang is at their feet, like
Yep.
doing this thing.
And the funniest thing, what is just a little out of frame to their left? Uh, the Pushpak Viman, for no reason. Why is it there? It did
The
not
bank
fly even
Pushpak Viman,
once. Huh?
the actual Pushpak Viman, the back Pushpak Viman.
The actual Pushpak Viman. Because as I mentioned earlier, the actual Pushpak Viman is in the movie. It is
But
parked.
they got, yeah, it's just there.
Yes, it's just parked. It does not fly even once.
Like it's just sitting in the garage while the bat comes out for like no is like his daily driver.
Yes. Okay. And then the bat, like, bat is of course again fully ripped off from Game of Thrones. Okay, like it just acts like a dragon because they did if anatomy thing with the GOT dragons where like they have put a lot of effort into like realizing dragons, and they have a particular way of moving about on land, and this bat copies exactly that. Okay, and
Like 90% sure he just found like dragon animations.fbx.
yep, yep, and they rigged that skeleton to another like
A
graphic
bat.
pack. Yeah, the bat.jpg. The bat was not bad, by the way. The bat was not one of the the bat wasn't the one of those bad CGIs. Bat was fine,
The bat was done okay.
but
It's
it was
just
inexplicable.
conceptually bad.
Yeah, why is there a bat?
Why the bat? You have a Pushpa Viman. You have it there. Why the bat? The bat doesn't even do anything.
That bat in that Ramayana made as much sense as my Batman T-shirt in Adipurush review. Okay, the equal level of logic. Uh, but yeah, it's a very underwhelming fight, and then they have that freeze frame moment where just yeah, of
like
course,
like the audience is like that is the moment where the audience is supposed to go wild, where they see Ram and Lakshman and Sita. I'm going to say like this thing now
yes,
because
they
they're
are.
supposed to see Ram and Lakshman and Sita
Yes,
and Hanuman is at their feet and like this praying and stuff like that. And I don't know, like so much of the context around this is so much like so much funnier. Like there's been so much stuff that I kind of would want to talk about and probably will talk about in something that is less constrained. But
there is
you
there
know,
is one thing. There is
because
one
Manoj
thing.
Muntashir is like a giant crybaby. Manoj Muntashir is like a massive hypocrite. He calls him he like his actual name is Shukla. He chose Muntashir because apparently it sounds better.
मैं शायरी की तरफ झुकने लगा तो मुझे भी एक पेन नेम की ज़रूरत थी और मैं था मनोज शुक्ला। तो मनोज शुक्ला में वैसे भी वजन नहीं था, वेट नहीं था।
And then he bitches about how Urdu
He
is like
sounds like a writer. He sounds
I
like
sound like a writer. Like that's fine. Like lots of people do it. But then lots of people, if you take like an Urdu pen name, they don't then bitch about how Urdu is replacing Hindi and how Urdu is about Islamization. I remember
we talked about this, right? Javed Akhtar.
uh, I will get to it.
Yeah.
Manoj, back in 2019 or 20, early 20, this was before before COVID. The film fairs for 2019 were basically swept by Gully Boy. Like they got Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actor, all of that. Most people thought it was probably not deserving of that much. Like
Yeah.
one person who threw like a massive tantrum about it was Manoj Muntashir. Manoj Muntashir basically he said that he had been nominated for he had been nominated for best lyrics for Teri Mitti from what's the name? Kesari, the Akshay Kumar movie about the Battle of Sarabari. He had been nominated and he lost to I think it was either Gulzar or Javed Akhtar. I think it was Gulzar. But it might no, it was Javed Akhtar. It was Javed Akhtar for Apna Time Aayega. And then this thing. Manoj Mustashir got really mad and said that this completely removed all credibility that the film fairs had, and he would never attend the film fairs again. And like it was such the lyric quote "Tu nanga hi to aaya hai kya khanta lekar jayega" were apparently very vulgar and very this thing. It's kind of in hindsight that like because here's the thing in Gully Boy that lyric makes perfect sense. This
Yeah.
is
This is
but
like a
it just
very, yeah,
it's
slang.
meant to be like a street kid who is like rapping.
Yeah. Street kids
The
are not
the
very known to be
at the
very
very least
disciplined.
is not made Hanuman say aag tere baap ko.
Okay, yeah, that does make everything very funny.
Then Manoj Mutashir has started crying about how the only people who are opposing this thing opposing the movie are because people getting mad about people saying Jai Shri Ram.
ये कुछ लोग हैं जिनको हमारी फिल्म से प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ लोग हैं जिनको थिएटर में गूंजते हुए जय श्री राम के नारों से बहुत बहुत आपत्ति है, क्योंकि जय श्री राम गूंज रहा है, ये घबराए हुए लोग हैं, इनको डर लग रहा है.
And then cut to barely a few months ago where when the whole Besharam Rang thing happened. Remember Deepika Padukone orange bikini
Orange
people got mad.
bikini. Yes.
Then he said that I think if you have made the audience angry, you should take some responsibility for it.
Yeah, be an artist, dude. Just be like, dude, like this is my creative choice. Just have a spine.
Like how much?
Ju-
Like it just feels like this guy's just such a massive coward grifter. I don't know. Like
You know what he is? He's like the kind of person who thinks doing something like provocative will always sell, but then he does not realize that there
it's
is,
not even that. If I would respect somebody doing provocative. Then he bitches about other people doing other. He like
yeah,
clutches his pearls about other people
yeah,
doing provocative things.
yeah, he starts being a hypocrite. And the thing is, because then he is like, no, the thing is that he has this complex. Okay, it's a very complex psychology, where like he sees other people doing vulgar provocative things in their writing in movie songs, and he's like, okay, when they do it they are famous, when I do it why do you object, right? When I do it why is it bad, right? So so it's not really hypocrisy, it's like, okay, why are they allowed to do it? But because he does not understand quality, he does not understand there is a good way, or there is a more acceptable way of
Like if
doing.
you want to have a character curse, maybe like it makes sense for a like lower class guy to curse. Like it's the reason famously when Gulzar was the one famously when Satya was being filmed. Gulzar wrote Goli Maar Bheje Mein.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
like the original reason was
No, but that's a gangster movie.
and no, it fits, right?
Hmm.
You are not going to have these people talking in like shairis and things and Urdu and things like that. These are gangsters celebrating one of their own getting out. It is going to be perfectly fine doing Goli Mare Bheje Mein.
Hmm.
And then I guess it's just like, does he not comprehend the idea that different situations are different? Are you searching for me?
Huh? No, I am searching for a different. It's a setup for a different thing, because one very weird thing that has happened is that um, people have sort of dug up that one song from Swades, sorry, Swades, the Shah Rukh Khan movie,
Yeah.
which was this. Apparently, it's called Pal Pal Hai Bhari, in which there is like a sequence at the end where he's like, Ram sabke man mein hai, essentially, you know, Ram to man mein hai, Ram to kan mein hai. It's like a thing. It's I
Okay.
think the song is like Sita sort of yearning for Ram in Ashok Vatika, and then him like sort of butts in and is like, Ram to jab wahan hai jahan tum dhoondho, and everything.
Okay.
So, but then I realized, like, this 1 minute sequence of this 5 minute song is a better Ramayana than Adipurush. And I don't know why such a particular thing and who dug it up. I don't know, but that's a thing now on like a part of the discourse. But like anything other than Adipurush is a better.
How bad is Prabhas?
Huh?
How bad is
Prabhas.
Prabhas?
Prabhas is not there. The thing is, when you do a heavily CGI movie, when you do CGI, for example, when a character, a real life live action actor is interacting with a object that's supposed to be CGI, they usually have, you must have seen set photos of that there is like an item in green screen covering. It's like a
Right.
ball, and then they interact with it, and then they later on key in the CGI.
Right.
In this movie, I'm pretty sure he did not have that, because there are scenes in which
So he's
throwing
interacting with
people
like thin air.
this, like he's throwing someone over his head like this, and you can see his hand clip through whatever he's holding. So he's just like moving his hand like this, and it's like you can just see it's like a paper, like a piece of paper that is being thrown like this. Okay, and so pretty sure that was not rigged really. All he did.
So he's just interacting with like thin air.
Yes, he's not just interacting with it, responding to thin air, because he's like in front of a green screen in a studio somewhere, and he does not know how to respond to like imagined things. Okay, so he just like most of the like this was
You
like
kind
sort
of
of a
feel
dream.
for Prabhas.
Huh?
You almost feel for Prabhas.
Yeah, this was one of like as an actor, he did nothing. He was like expressionless in most of the scenes, or even if, like the most extreme expression was them just like him surprised. Like that's the extent. That's it. That's the extent of the range of his emotions that he shows in this movie. And completely wasted, by the way, completely wasted in this movie. I don't know anything about the guy like previously. I don't think
Bahubali.
huh?
Bahubali.
I have heard a lot about Bahubali. I never got around to watching it, but
Like Bahubali was like his big movie, right?
Oh, he's a Bahubali actor.
He played the
Titular
Bahubali,
character.
the titular characters,
Hmm.
like father and son, somehow twins.
He
in
played
harmless.
both. Okay. But yeah, he completely wasted. There's not even any impressive dialogue, because he's supposed to be Ram, so he's supposed to be very level-headed and very like he
I mean, he
can't.
has this moment where he finds like some guy is a spy, and then he literally just instantly like this thing.
Yeah, and that feels odd. That
Yeah,
feels
because
very odd.
it
Not
has
just because
no
he's
weight.
yeah, not just because he's supposed to be Ram, but like everything until now, he has been like this very calm, peaceful, and just like a very calming personality. And then suddenly he's doing these action moves, like just holding somebody by their neck and lifting them, and then choking them, kind of. And then the funny thing is that then he drops and is like, "Okay, चलो इसको माफ कर देते हैं." Like, but
It's just like random homicidal.
exactly, that man is fighting demons, but like literally and in psychologically, but yeah, it's completely wasted in the movie. And it's like, so here's the thing, right? Nothing, the fight, like the movie is supposed to build up to the final fight. The final fight completely under delivers. The movie just kind of ends, and yeah, that's it. Don't go watch the movie. Like I hope we are able to edit this down to a
I
watchable
think,
length, but
trust me, this is as bad as an edit that we will probably be able to make of this. It will probably still be better than the edit that these guys made. How do you
we
make
care
How
we
do you how do you make an adaptation of the Ramayana that lasts 3 hours, cuts out significant, it cuts out entire kands,
Yep.
and cuts out entire sections of entire kands, and still have so much filler?
Yes, that's what I said. That,
Like,
oh, if you think that, okay,
in principle, I'm sympathetic to the idea that making a 3 hour movie about the Ramayana is hard.
yeah,
It is difficult to decide. Like in principle, this is a massive book. That is why its most famous adaptation has been a TV series, because you have
yes, it has to be
length there.
serialized. It's very long.
It has to be
Long.
serialized because you have length there.
Yeah,
You can do like a Kanda season, and then you have like time to flesh out each character in the way that the epic deserves. But how do you add so much filler? You have 3 hours. You have to adapt basically the most of the Ramayana. You have cut out most of the starting cards. Let us not even get to the Uttarakand. We have cut out most of the starting cards. You have removed large sections of each this thing, and then your big moments are mediocre at best, and then there is
yeah.
just like tons of filler.
They have kept the interesting parts of the Ramayana story, and then made them boring. Okay, it's terrible. You have to kind of be actively, sort of maliciously working on this to make it so boring, and so
Maulana
like,
Umrah.
huh?
Maulana Umrah.
Yeah. When I said actively, I meant like, sort of. I didn't. I guess an implication is that, of course,
Yeah,
yes.
to be fair, it's part of the reason why there has been a lot of like calls from a lot of people to ban Adipurush, which I mean, no, I don't think it should be banned.
It's a bad movie. It's
It's a
bad.
shit. It's a bad movie. Like, but
Yeah, it's not gonna
there
survive
is
in theater this Friday. I'm pretty sure that nobody will be showing it this Friday.
like from what I hear, collections on the weekend were fairly high. A lot of it is because of hype, because of the Ramayana factor, because of the Prabhas factor. Like when you have that, you're going to get a decent starting collection.
Yeah,
Like your opening is going to be good. After Sunday, collections have dropped. They have dropped to single digit crore rupees.
yeah, because
And
internet
because the
exists.
weekend was 100 crore, this many crore. After Monday, single digit. And
Because the
it's only
internet,
falling
because
since.
yeah, because the internet exists, and people have memed the movie to shit. Nobody is going to actually watch the movie, so it's like, people like me, just on the front lines. Except that no one. But but
You said what, 10 people were in the theater?
yeah, 10. I'm not even like exaggerating. It was like 20 bookings and 10 people actually showed up. And but yeah, it's essentially like this movie again, like the final thing. I took my mom with me. My mom hated it, and the thing that she said is that, why did they make it a Ramayana movie? This movie could have been any other movie. Why pick Ramayana? This movie, literally, there's nothing Ramayana like in this movie. Like this whole thing, right? Like how Ravan is killed, it's so inexplicable. The final shot of like the thing where it's like, okay, dharti mein na akash mein, subah na sham mein, and all of that. Literally, it is like, that Avengers meme of a blue beam, like blue sky beam, which has become a trope now. Literally, that happens. Okay, literally, a vortex opens up in the sky, and then like, I don't know, what, like, how did they don't even express that, like, ultimately in the real story it was that his nabhi has some amount of wish in it, which gets released if you puncture it, and that was what, like, and that, like, some I think it was some god only that gave Ram this insight during the battlefield, or something was there.
It was Vibhishan.
Vibhishan,
Vibhishan,
okay,
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
must have been Vibhishan,
Vibhishan
yes.
himself. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
Vibhishan.
yeah. So that, that could have been a thing, and like, no, he just knows it is not like not even visually conveyed properly. How he got this insight that he should shoot him in the like in the like navel. What? Like at no moment that like I like talking about this movie so many times, right? Like so many times we accidentally say Saif Ali Khan instead of Ravan because Saif Ali Khan is just being Saif Ali Khan. He's
And he's
not.
probably one of the people who's done a like who has tried at least a little.
Yeah, he has tried, but he's
Like,
not tried to be Ravan. He's tried to be just a like a cool bad guy. Like he
and that's fine because and I don't know. And here's the thing: when as a principal, I went for a movie. If an actor does a bad job or two actors do a bad job, that's on the actors.
yeah,
If everybody does a bad job, that's on the director,
yes, directors and writers.
directors
This
and writers.
this
Because like your actors can only do so much.
yeah this
Uh,
yeah.
I think getting to like a synthesis,
Mhm.
we kind of it has been the sort of central question to which this whole sort of discussion has been not dancing around exactly, but it's just been around.
Mhm.
Who is this movie for?
Exactly. Who is this movie for?
Like
Because the
what?
people who know what happens in Ramayana, they are completely underwhelmed because the things that they would expect.
They are either underwhelmed. Okay, they are underwhelmed, and they are typically offended
Yes.
because they will do because there are a lot of details which are like frankly like what they would probably consider blasphemous.
Yes. That is also true.
Like there are like Ramayana nerds and there are people like people who are even more interested in us because they'll be like Sita, why is Sita wearing the white clothes and not real Bhagwa clothes? Why is this thing like these like? But that is your target audience because people who are new to the Ramayana will not understand. Half of the movie will go over their head. So much of it is not explained. So much of this thing is not. So many events are not explained to like this thing.
Yeah. So
It
that's
cannot be for newcomers because newcomers will have half of the movie go over their head. It is not meant for like enthusiasts because enthusiasts will either find the big moments unconvincing and you will find the small moments either boring, offensive, or both.
hmm. Yes.
It is not for as much as it tries. It is not for like it is not for Sanghi types because even as much political messaging as it is doing, it
Not
is
really.
still. Hmm?
It's doing what is known as paying lip service. So by just saying words that people might connect to, essentially dog whistles kind of a thing, it's just paying lip service to the idea of Hindutva supremacy without committing to it, to actually making it a
It's not
part of the
even it's
story.
yeah, but it's like like even that it's just saying those things and then it is still doing like things that like people will find offensive regarding the offensive regarding the
Here's
Ramayana
the
like
thing:
like the
if you want to make an offensive version of Ramayana, okay, go for it. Go for a version of Ramayana that is blasphemous. Fine, go ahead, okay. But like not, but it's not as you said, right? So there are people who know what happens and people who don't know what happens. Both of them do not understand. The people who care about Ramayana and don't care about Ramayana. So people who don't care about Ramayana will anyway not show up for this, right? And people who care about Ramayana, right, they will turn up and then they'll be like, this
and
is
then
nonsense.
they will like riot because
Yeah.
this movie like plays around with it so much because it doesn't get the events right. It edits the wrong things. It cannot convey like the epic scope of emotion that is kind of required for an epic.
Yeah.
This thing it cannot appeal to moderates because frankly a lot of it is boring
I think it is
and it
kind of
can.
also like the Marvel brain poison. It's not so I'm not like this like sort of elitist kind of thing that oh Marvel is all trash. The thing is not that it is all trash. They are very good movies. They're very well made, well produced, well written. That's all fine, but they reduce epics to like adventures. Okay, What Ramayana is an epic. What Adipurush is trying to be is an adventure. And it cannot decide between both of them. It cannot be an adventure because these are not normal people. These are gods. Okay, like Ram and Lakshman and these people are supposed to be gods. But it has these things which are like like Lord of the Rings type style of like battling with all of these orcs and these all mechanical contraptions for like making people fall from the climbing of the wall and all that, right? So that was that I don't think is Lord of the Rings. That I think is some other
Game
foreign
of
movie.
Thrones, right? It's the
No,
wall.
that those no. Those circles that fall down.
I'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't. But in any way, so it's derivative so much. Not even derivative, copy pasted. But it's like so many of these things. People will be like, oh, ये तो उसमें था. But they will not think, oh, this is so cool that this is the same thing that they're doing from other media. They'll think it's cheap. They'll think it's lame.
Because it is.
Yeah. So who is this
And
movie for?
and it is, and the only, because here's the thing, when you said you have an adaptation of the Ramayana that is blasphemous, Mani Ratnam in 2008, 9, something like that, made Ravan, a movie which basically has Ravan as the main character. Analogized.
This is not that Ra one, right?
No.
Okay.
It like this was Abhishek Bachchan, and basically he has like Bira as a, not the alcohol. He has Abhishek Bachchan as this character called Bira Munda, who is a Naxalite, and Vikram.
Man, I need to watch this.
It is something.
Okay.
It is and Vikram. I don't know if you know Chian Vikram,
Okay.
the actor Vikram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
He basically plays a cop, and his wife is Aishwarya Rai.
Okay.
And basically, Veera kidnaps Aishwarya, and basically the and the analogy is made very directly. The Abhishek Bachchan character is Ravan, the Aishwarya character is Sita, and the Vikram character is Ram. And by the end of the movie, we get to this part. The idea is that because this Ram character is so single-mindedly devoted to his mission, doesn't even care about the well-being of his wife. He is completely willing to shoot her in order to complete his mission of killing the Naxalite. And in the end, at the end of the movie, the Ravan analog saves Sita's life and then gets shot by Ram and dies.
So people empathize with Ravan more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the main character. There is even like a Surpanakha analog, but the Surpanakha analog is like treated. This is very much like what you would call Indian security forces abuse. Like she's abused. She's, I think, held under arrest. I don't know if she's raped exactly, but like by.
They don't even do the thing where it's like, okay, the bad guy is clearly the bad guy, even though he makes sense, but at the end he does something so horrible that it's unforgivable. They don't even do that.
They don't even do that.
Ravan is like Bira Munda is unequivocally
Like he is like he does. They do bad things. Like they are terrorists basically. Like they do like attacks. They like this thing that is at the start of the movie. But the idea is that Ram, by the end of the movie, the Ram analog is essentially like how like it, and the movie ends openly. It just ends with Bira being shot and he falls into like a waterfall and then film over. But the question lingers in your mind that how will Ragini be able to go back to her husband?
Right. Yep.
That was what a movie has done.
Yep.
And that is what a movie can do.
Yep.
And if you want to make an adaptation of the Ramayana that twists it around and says something, do that. It's very good. It should be done.
Yeah, just
But
vulgar
do
dialogue.
that.
Yeah, just vulgar dialogue does not make your
You
movie.
you cannot say "bap" and things like that, and then immediately assume that this will be like
This will become a
inherent.
cult classic.
No, it doesn't make your movie more understandable. It makes your movie more stupid.
Yeah, it does not make. Yeah, I guess they were going for relatability. If the if people
That
take.
is what he said, because
Yeah.
like if there is this whole coping session by Manoj Mudashir on the in a London Top interview, and where he talks about how he was trying to make the dialogue more relatable, how people could not understand like that zamane ka Hindi.
लेकिन शुद्धता कभी मकसद नहीं था, मकसद था पेनिट्रेशन, मकसद था कि जो बच्चे जिनको नहीं पता है कि भगवान राम कौन है, और मैं सच कह रहा हूं, ये बहुत दुखद सत्य है, मैं इतने बड़े चैनल पे बोल रहा हूं, मुझे ये बोलते हुए तकलीफ हो रही है, अंदर से मुझे वेदना हो रही है, लेकिन बच्चे नहीं जानते हैं। 10-12 साल के बच्चे राम के बारे में बस इतना ही जानते हैं कि हाँ ठीक है, कहीं माँ बाप ने नाम ले लिया होगा, एक कहीं तस्वीर घर पे रखी होगी मंदिर में, उससे ज्यादा वो नहीं जानते।
Like
Why not? People have watched Raman and Sagar's
like
Raman.
yeah, we like you don't need to say it in like Sanskrit or Prakrit or whatever.
Yeah.
You can at least say it in like normal this thing.
Yeah. There is a
Right.
formal way of talking in Hindi.
Yeah.
Yes, use
Yeah,
that formal
like
way.
and people understand that. Even if you do like more even if you do like more Hindutva BS, editing out the Urdu words, that also has happened apparently.
Yep. Must have.
Remove Rasta, like he says Rasta, his mouth says Rasta, but you
Says
hear
Marg.
Marg.
Yeah. Hmm. But yeah,
This is a bad movie.
This is a bad movie, and it is.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
We have
It
spent
is-
3
it is
hours for it.
blasphemous. It is blasphemous to the art of filmmaking. Okay, if art of filmmaking was a religion, this is blasphemy. But yeah, that's our 3 hours of 2 cents on it. No, wait, is it 3 hours really? Oh,
It is
it's 2
about
hours
3
40.
hours.
Might
Yeah.
as well be
We
3 hours.
started at 10.
Yep, it's 1 a.m. But yeah,
So much for shorter episode. Huh?
yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Okay.
Like, share, and
We
subscribe.
care more about Ramayana than Om Raut and the writer guy. Okay, we care more about Ramayana. Watch us.
We are great. Like this is our appeal to right wingers also. These guys are
We'll write a
more.
better Ramayana movie for you. Okay, it'll be subversive. It'll not be blasphemous. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Okay.
I think a lot of it. I think the kind of point of this is a lot of these guys are just grifters.
Yes, they are purely grifters. That is true.
And when you rely on, and because they made the Ramayana, because it will attract people, and you can easily attack people by saying like, if you don't like the movie, you are anti-Hindu, etc., etc.
Yep.
But there's no soul, and when you make a movie with a giant budget and no soul,
Yeah. And the soul is right there. Like, everybody already has so much attachment to the source material that you're adopting. All you need to do is lean into people's expectations.
it's not even lean into people's expectations. Just make something honest.
Yes.
Make
no,
something that
yeah.
make something that speaks to you. Make something that like
That
communicates
says
what
something.
that says something.
Yeah. This
But don't make this.
shameless.
And if it is made, don't reward it.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't watch this movie. Watch us. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes. Good night. Oh, wait. Whenever you're watching, good, whatever time of day it is. It's
Good
good night
night.
for us. Bye.
एक ऐसे देश में जहां हमें शाहजहां की बाबर की 7 पुश्तें पता हैं और हमें राम के पिता का नाम दशरथ पता है, दशरथ के पिता का नाम तक नहीं पता होगा, हम इक्ष्वाकु आज को जानते ही नहीं। अभी थोड़े दिनों पहले तक इस देश में अपने आप को हिंदू कहना पाप समझा जाता था, अधर्म। मुझे तो सचमुच लगता था, मैं अपने बचपन की बात बताऊं, जब मैं बड़ा हो रहा था तो मुझे लगता था कि अगर मैंने कहीं कभी हिंदू बोल दिया अपने आप को तो शायद मुझे जेल में ठूंस दिया जाए।